To each its own, diagramming an object. Nature Journal activity number 3. The materials you will need is your journal, a pencil, a growth mindset, and an outdoor area or window with a view of the outdoors. Here are the directions step by step. Today you will draw and describe 3 objects from a set of similar objects, such as leaves, flowers, rocks, shells, twigs, anything that looks interesting. Your goal is to practice diagramming your object with accurate information based on your observation. Your journal entry is a way of communicating information about the natural world, not a piece of art, although it will look like art just with sketches, words, and data. Think of your journal as the art of a scientist. You will use the skills you've already been practicing in this week's journaling activity. First, you observe, I notice, I wonder, and make connections. Step 1, select a set of 3 objects that are similar. I chose 3 different leaves. You may choose a set of 3 rocks, twigs, shells, flowers, bugs, anything that looks interesting to you. Step 2, observe one object at a time and make a diagram of your object in as much detail as possible. Here are some tips to record accurate information in your diagram. Let your senses guide you. Be patient and have fun. Use the skill I notice, I wonder, it reminds me of. Use pictures, words, and numbers. If you are more comfortable drawing, draw more. If you are more comfortable writing, write more. If you like using numbers, you can do more of that. You must use all of the approaches to show what you see. Here's a helpful drawing tip. Trace or draw your object first. I placed my leaves on my journal and then traced them so I could get an accurate outline of the size of each leaf. Step 3, record accurate details. Measure the exact size and write actual size next to it. You will notice that the top leaf, the geranium leaf, I recorded 2.5 inches wide. Label the colors and add color. So I only shaded in a little bit of each leaf, trying to get as accurate as possible with the color I chose. And I labeled it with words as well. So the geranium leaf says hunter green. The apple tree leaf I labeled bright apple green. And the poppy leaf says mint green. Record the number of things, leaf holes or points or petals. So in my diagram, I labeled the poppy leaf, I noticed it had 4 leaves. I also noticed the apple tree leaf was about 2 inches long and 2 inches wide, and the stem was 1 inch long. Include unique characteristics such as bug holes or broken pieces. You'll notice the geranium leaf, the top leaf, I wrote a question. It says, is this a slime trail? I recorded these little lines that I noticed looked a little bit slimy, and I know slugs and snails love to eat geranium flowers. Then I also recorded another question. There were some details, these little spots and dots on the leaf, and I asked, are these spots from an animal? When you think you are finished, try to revisit your drawing and add even more detail. Be sure to add the date and location of your work. Now you are ready. When you finish your journal, take some time to reflect. What similarities do you notice between the objects? What might have caused the patterns you observe? What are some explanations for its features? Compare the structures of the objects. How are they different? Have this conversation with a sibling or even a friend on Zoom, or a grandparent or a parent. You can even write your reflection in your journal. Here's a quick guide. Step 1, gather materials. Step 2, go outside and find 3 similar objects to observe. Step 3, observe each object. Remember, I notice, I wonder, it reminds me of. Step 4, an accurate diagram includes a drawing, words, and numbers. And finally, reflect on your work.